Good morning, passengers, and welcome to Flight 238 this morning to New York City. Just doing all the final checks. Have coffee. Yes. Oh, lip balm. Do I have lip balm? Essential flying equipment. Lip balm, lip balm, lip balm. Let me see. Yes, we have lip balm. All's right with the world. It is currently, engines running, delightful 4 degrees Celsius. Fuck. Doesn't feel 4. The sun's coming up at 7:11 a.m. Hey, Dennis. I'm doing a wee experiment. I'm seeing if I leave a bit later, what time I get to town, because we've had all these. You're going to New York in October. You're going to New York today, Trixie. Tension. Jump aboard. Um, what's my Pissweek Airlines? Pissweek Airlines is taking you to New York this morning. The mountain's completely covered in cloud. I wonder if there's been some snow overnight. Karen Burns. It doesn't look like you're. Well, this is part of New York you haven't driven around yet. We're actually not in the city yet, though. New York City's over in the distance. It's just seeing if there's any snow on the mountain. And I can't see the mountain. I know, you didn't know there was a mountain in New York, but now you do. But I'm curious because I returned to work yesterday after a break and the roadworks have shaved so much time, like 20 minutes. That's a lot for a, one-way commute, especially in peak hour, peak minute as we used to call it. It looks like it's going back to being a peak minute. And I normally leave home at 7 to go to work, but some of you guys know, like I was there nearly an hour early yesterday, and I was like, I don't need to be here an hour early. Like half an hour's nice, but an hour? That's time I can, 30 minutes I can hang out at home and get shit done, make a proper lunch. Did you see the... Oh, hi, Deb. Snow's right down. I think I saw your message then disappeared. Hi, Kerry. I haven't seen my community post. I checked it yesterday morning, I think, before I hit the road, because I like to at least say to people, oh, I saw what you did, but I haven't had a chance to reply. But no, I haven't. But another blow-up doll on the beach. Woohoo! Might have to chuck that in batshit tomorrow night. Don't tell Finn if you see him in your travels. But thanks for that. I will definitely include that in batshit, unless it happened 3 months ago. But if it's another one, because we've had one already that washed up on a beach. The only rule is, well, there's 2 rules. One is it must have happened in the last week or so, and the other one is we haven't done it before. Sex dolls are scaring the bejeebus out of people, because we've had there was the one on the rocks on a beach. There was one in the dumpster. My main source of stories didn't put anything up last week. I was like, oh no, don't tell me this website's gone. And then I had a look at it on the weekend and it's repopulated and there's so many stories. But I like to include ones from you guys, so I've got a good backlog of stories to use now. So yeah, we're heading into New York City on this beautiful, almost spring morning. This is going to confuse the fuck out of everyone. Awesome. It's a pleasant 4 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. And it's 7:15 a.m. But I'm curious to see the difference, like leaving 10, 15 minutes late. because I like enough time at the other end to put on some makeup and grab coffee, but I don't need to be there like an hour early. This is Tasmania. I mean, sorry, this is New York. I live here for the lifestyle, the cruisy, relaxed, slow-paced lifestyle. Oh, I won't be able to read that comment while I'm driving, Kerry. Just a reminder, Groovers, too, if you put things in capital letters, when I get a chance to glance at my phone, I've got a good chance of reading, maybe not all of it, but some of it. But lowercase is, even though I've got reading glasses on, it's, well, not reading glasses, I've got my glasses on. Phone read lowercase. Weirdly, I've got 20/20 vision, but need to wear glasses has nothing to do with 20/20 vision. But she want to talk about Kylie Rodney, weirdly. I'm getting a feeling, guys, that, and look, disclaimer before I discuss this, I haven't followed it that closely, but I've heard enough about it to know that before they even found her, a lot of people were getting vibes of some of her friends, and all these little conspiracy theories were starting to be formulated. Well, meanwhile, this poor, beautiful girl's missing and her family's distraught. But, coming up with possible theories, some of them are absolutely ludicrous, is way more important than just creating awareness by talking about her and asking people to keep an eye out for her. Anywho, don't you love how they do that? We're creating awareness. No, you're creating theories based on fuck all and claiming you're creating awareness. Don't fool me. Creating awareness is spreading the word about the girl and her description, what she was wearing, last time she was seen. And Jade booked a holiday in a doll's house? Nice. Even better. I will definitely be checking it out, Kerry. You make sure you tune in for Batshit tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Hey, old woman. I'm alive. And I'm live. If I get any notifications about YouTubers talking about Kylie Rodney, I'm going to say there's another one. But look, I get a feeling already, and I didn't really get to see or hear much yesterday other than Scout Inquirer letting us all know that Adventures with Purpose had found her while we were live yesterday morning. But just from reading notifications of, YouTubers going live about it, so many of them were theorising, coming up with more theories. And I just feel like it's going to be another one of those cases that is going to be talked about for years to come on YouTube, and people are going to milk it for all it's worth, and they're going to use the if the investigation's closed, and we're just about to witness a heap of YouTubers all milking this story. I was going to say to death, and then I felt a bit weird saying that, considering what happened to Kylie. But as an innocent bystander who hasn't listened to anyone reputable on YouTube talking about this story and all the details and so on. I mean, I haven't listened to any disreputable ones at length either. But to me, it just sounds like a very tragic but predictable story, sadly, of an underage girl having a few too many drinks and driving drunk into a lake. But it looks like it's going to be fodder for YouTube creators for years to come. Because, you know, all the friends were a bit off and a bit dodgy and inconsistent in their statements, and, you know, there must be foul play. And, you know, maybe there is. I don't know enough about it, but I just feel that it's one of those fairly straightforward, like Chris Watts. I mean, not that the crime was straightforward, but the guy pled guilty. Let's move on. They found Kylie. It's terribly sad. Let's move on. I'm curious to see if anyone else feels the same way, because there was a live title about how was Kylie driving when they found her in the back seat, was one of them. There were comments, you know, it's definitely foul play. It's definitely, you reckon? You reckon that you know a bit more than the cops at the moment? I've just noticed my new windscreen has like a blue tinted, slightly curved band across the top. So it's sort of like a secondary sun visor thing. I mean, it's not a visor, but it's an added layer of protection. It's like a bifocal windscreen. None of you are chatting. Oh well, you'll just have to listen to my monologue. It will eventually become a soliloquy, even for me. I've got new jeans on today. They're so dark and pretty. I can't wait for them to start fading and getting all broken in and snuggly. Do love me some new jeans. I love being a lawyer that gets to wear jeans to work. I mean, hello. Tell me that's not cool. Not a lot of lawyers. I mean, there's a lot of law firms that do like casual Fridays, but most of them still have to go to court and stuff, so they don't really get to avail themselves of that. And if they do wear jeans, you know, they're usually like highly expensive designer ones. Oh, you're listening. Oh, there was a girl in America who went missing, California, Lake Tahoe area, after a party. And they found her yesterday in her car, upside down, in a dam, lake, reservoir, call it what you want. But it's just another one of those ones, old woman, where you can see that there's already people that are just not going to sort of... Now, okay, so we've got a bit of a bottleneck happening today. So leaving a bit later, there's more traffic, but that's all right. This is all part of my experiment. As long as I get to work on time, I'm fine. I've still got over an hour. Pickle! Yes, I'm coming to visit you and Karen Burns. Hey, check out the sticker on the back of that car. Eye candy. Who's the eye candy? The person in the car? It looks like a middle-aged man. Or me. Or whoever happens to be driving behind them. Eye candy. Or do they think they came up with that term and they're cool, so they got to, you know... And it's actually crooked. I mean, it's not crooked, but it's not centered. That's bugging my OCDC. Hey, do you know that obsessive compulsive disorder, to be honest, should be CDO, because obsessive compulsive people would hate that it's not in alphabetical order. Oh, you're picking me up from the airport. Awesome. Dodo Dixon. G'day, Griever. We're going to New York. I'll be pointing out some landmarks, but I expect you guys to go, oh, look, Over there, the Eiffel Tower. You know, one of the most famous landmarks of New York City. I'm so touched you're picking me up. I'm obviously flying the plane, although because Pissweek Airlines, you know, we've even had to budget on our planes. They don't actually get in the air. We just have to drive them along the road. I hope you brought your own snacks. There's no snacks on this flight. I loved it flying around Hawaii and island hopping, and the flights are like 20 minutes, and the planes literally take off. They're not big planes, and they go, anyone want a fruit cup? And they like run down the aisle with a tray of fruit cups and pretty much throw them at you. And then there's the announcement if everyone could fasten their seatbelts and prepare for landing. You were there on Saturday. What were you doing in New York City on Saturday? Having fun, I bet. I do often get criticised. So, okay, leaving 15 minutes late there's a big difference in the traffic. So I think I'm going to just suck it up and get to work an hour early and just sit in the car park and chat to you guys next time. We had a clean run in yesterday. It was fabulous. Oh, I remember smoking on planes too. You're allowed to smoke on Pissweek Airlines, by the way. You can even smoke illegal substances. That's how little we give a fuck. Oh, photography at an engagement session. Nice. Where was the location? Were you in Central Park? Because, of course, we are just passing Central Park here on the left. To our left, we have Central Park. Yes, I know, over in the distance. I know that looks like a chicken abattoir, but it's not. It's actually a fine dining restaurant. They just built it to look like a chicken abattoir, just to be edgy. Because, you know, see? Central Park. I guessed it. I'm psycho. I mean, psychic. I mean, psycho. I mean, both. So just to our left is the beautiful Central Park where Pickle Pickle was taking engagement photos yesterday or on the weekend. And I feel like we've experienced it with you. I can't remember if you said yesterday or Saturday, but anyway, whenever it was, might be yesterday for you, but 2 days ago for me, because it's Tuesday morning here. We're in the future. He flew on a small plane. Once with a pilot named Jim Beam. Good morning, everyone. This is your pilot, Jim Beam, and yes, like my name, I'm off my fucking face. Lovable Rogue, hello, you. How the fuck are you? Trixie's ringing the bell at Pelham Parkway in the Bronx. Oh, I can hear the bells, the bells. Oh, you're belting out a tune too. What is it? Let's have a sing along. Oh, I don't know this song. Trixie, you got to play something everyone knows. I mean, doing country and western on a bell is quirky. I'm not going to hold that against you, but I mean, and I'm glad to hear you're not the praying kind, but I would have thought if you had to play something on a public bell that you'd play something we could all sing along to. You're effing good. Oh, fucking awesome, mate. It's fucking good to see you. Driving over, what's this? Is this how you get to Long Island? Is that Long Island up ahead? I think it might be. We're sort of all over the place here in New York. I'm driving a plane on a road for starters, so just bear with me. But yeah, we're just heading over to Long Island at the moment. The carnival is over. We played that at my mum's funeral. She wanted it at her funeral, and we were all like, "Well, that's great," because we're all going to ball. I mean, not that we weren't going to ball anyway, but let's make us really ball. I played it at the end of one of my lives the other day, and I was having a little cry for my mama, which surprised. I mean, I cry at the weirdest times. It's been 22 and a half years now since she died, but it hits you in the feels, Yes, Long Island, Hobart. We're sort of in New York. I'm pointing out landmarks. I'm going to see if you've upped your bell game, Trixie, because I think I was on a country and western channel. Sometimes I listen to a channel that's local and very, very community, and the music they play reflects that it's very, very local community. But sometimes they'll build out, some golden oldies, and I love a little sing-along. I Got You Addicted to the Carnival is over. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's probably the saddest song ever written, though, if you think about it. I mean, there's some sad songs out there, but that one's... I don't know if it's just the beat to it, like dum dum dum, and then Judah's perfect pure voice. But we also played the other one that I played in my life, "Colours of My Life," which is a really upbeat, pretty song, and Mum was really colourful, and that was the other song we played for her at her funeral. So it wasn't all, but it was quite funny when my sister and I found the little note that my mum had left saying what she wanted played at her funeral, and we said, she wants, she didn't choose "Colours of My Life," we chose that one. She said, I want two Seekers songs, and one of them has to be "The Carnival Is Over," and Dad was like, oh, well, great, well, that's going to make everybody cry. So we're at a funeral. I think we're already going to be crying, Dad. He wanted us to play at my mum's funeral. My mum was agnostic. He wanted the hymn, "Fight the good fight with all thy might," which is a really masculine, strong, bold, brash sort of hymn. And we were like, yeah, no, that's not Mum at all. We might play that at yours, Dad. But then Dad had a state funeral, and it was at the Federation Concert Hall, which is where the Tasmanian Symphony Orchestra, it's our home base. And some of the TSO members played at the funeral at Dad's. And for his little video, like, the photo montage, we played "My Way," Frank Sinatra. But he was a passionate Geelong Cats fan. And they're an Australian Football League team who are doing fucking brilliantly, I might add, because I'm also a mighty cat supporter. But the orchestra played the Geelong club song. It was sensational. This is the bridge that never ends. Well, we're actually on the second. We're on McGee's now. I can't remember what the other one... The other one has a name, but the sign for it's missing. So we just left Long Island. You remember "Fight the Good Fight"? Oh, God. I mean, it gets the emotions happening, but very masculine. And then, we played "All Things Bright and Beautiful" at Mum's. We said, look, if you're going to have like a little churchy song, let's do that one. So that was her little nod of religion, I guess, because it was in a chapel, but All right, let's see what Trixie's playing on the bells. Yeah, you believe 1,000 words is true, but it's still not enough. Still on the ground. Ah, this is 1927. Where's Scouting Choir? What you mean to me? Anything I can do, I do it for you. 1927 is an Australian band that I played on a live, and Scout loved it. It was actually that song, and she is addicted to them now. And they're actually playing here. I think it's this weekend coming up. I better check. Because I bought a ticket for me and my friend Kim, whose birthday is also the 12th of January, and because of the COVID, it got postponed, and I'm pretty sure it's this weekend. Fuck, better get onto that. I was expecting Scout and Choir to roll in. It's like someone playing 1927. If I could do anything at all, if I could, I'd give you all. If I could do anything at all, I'd do it for you. Sing along if you know the words. Where's Scout? Anything I can do, I do it for you. Don't you know just how far I go? Anything I can do, I do it for you. You mean the world to me. Anything I can do, I do it for you. Just how far I go. Anything I can do, I do it for you. Oh, you don't hear me singing. I love a sing along in the car on the way to work, though. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Oh, if I had a hammer, Jesus Christ! Now that'll be stuck in my head. I haven't heard that song for years, but I know what you mean. That's quite the earworm. Lovable Road. Oh, you get to see Culture Club in September. September 1st. Oh, that's not far away. Yeah, I've got tickets for 1927. I really should see what the fuck's going on there, because I'm pretty sure they said August, end of. I've got a feeling it's the 27th. What's that, Friday? What's today? The 23rd. Okay, it's my nephew's birthday today. Better give him a call. So what? The 24th is Wednesday, 25th. So Saturday night. I better check that. I also bought tickets to see an English dude, Passenger, who I love. I've seen him many, many times. I bought tickets for that for my sister's birthday, and that's been postponed twice. So he did do a free concert. It was kind of cool, actually. He went into the Royal Albert Hall, and because of COVID, he was literally just standing on the stage on his own. Like, there was no one watching him in the theatre, but did this live concert for everyone that had bought tickets. It was really cool. That Culture Club, that'll be so much fun. Oh, you've been a fan since you were 6. Come, chameleon. I love Boy George. He makes me laugh all the time. He's really funny. Like, he was a judge in one of those singing shows, and not that I followed the show, but thanks to YouTube Shorts, you get up to speed on all these things you've missed over the years. And if you like a short, then you start getting more and more of that kind of thing in your feed, of course. But he makes me laugh. Oh, happy birthday to my nephew. Thank you. Yeah, it's Will's birthday today, so I'll give him a bell, although he's a third year uni student. I doubt he's going to be answering the phone and going, "G'day, Annie G," anytime soon. So I'll just leave a really badly sung version of Happy Birthday on his phone, and I'll tell him to put his speaker on so that everyone around him gets to hear me singing Happy Birthday to him really badly. And then my brother Will and his wife, they're home from Singapore this week too. So we're meant to be catching up with them on Friday. They're unveiling a portrait of my brother at Parliament House. I'm hoping they've made his eyes really close together, or there's just something a bit wrong about it, so we can all have a good old laugh. But because he's a good-looking rooster, but I'm hoping there's something slightly comical about the portrait. I don't know. We've all got to rock up and watch it be unveiled. It's kind of scary. I mean, hopefully he's seen it already and he's okay with it. That would be my worst nightmare. Would be rocking up to the unveiling of a portrait. Not that anyone's ever going to do a portrait of me, but imagine like if you don't get to see it beforehand and then they unveil it and you look like I don't know what, something munted. And you have to stand there and smile, and the artist will be there and act like you think it's lovely. And on your insides are dying, going, "Oh my God, that artist has portrayed me as a demonic weirdo." See, I love Warwick. I love a lot of 80s stuff, but not the really commercial shit. Like, I like the slightly left field stuff, like some of the stuff you're mentioning. I mean, Culture Club were commercial, but they were still very niche. You know, there was a style to their music that not everyone, but, you know, like things like Cindy Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That song plays, I have to like get as far away from it as possible. I loved being a teen in the 80s sometimes, but and I worked in commercial radio. We played all those really standard 80s classics, whereas I loved all the sort of, yeah, the slightly left field stuff, or more B-sides, or like the early music, some bands that got big in the 80s, the early stuff they put out before they got big. My niece is obsessed with everything 80s, and my sister and I are just like, "Are you kidding us? Like, why?" That was the era we had to like start dating, and you look at photos now of the fashion that we were wearing and, you know, how we looked, and it was hardly, you know, we weren't preening ourselves to the best of our ability by wearing anything 80s. But then my sister and I we both love 60s. Like, I wear a lot of A-line dresses and knee-high boots, just sort of suits my physique and my height. And my sister's very similar. Like, we both wear a lot of 60s style stuff and genuine, like, retro 60s things. And we've got a lot of, like, I collect Pyrex cooking bowls, and, you know, we've got a lot of taste that even extends into our decor and stuff that's very 60s influence. But it used to irritate the fuck out of my mum because she met my dad and got married in the 60s, and along came all three of us in the 60s. And she couldn't understand why we loved 60s fashion. But if I had to choose between the two, there's no contest. 60s all the way. 60s and 70s all the way. Oh, Scout. Scouts arrived. I knew that you'd be lured. 1927 were on before. Trixie claimed she was playing the bells in some park in New York, or in the Bronx. And I put the radio on to see what she might be playing. And the first couple of times they were West country western songs, and then I changed channels, and it was 1927, and I was like, "Where's Scout? You're being beckoned, and you've arrived. Hey, why?" Mini skirts are hot. I've spent most of my life in mini skirts, but I must admit, these days, while I still like a short skirt, I can't do the mini skirt and bare legs anymore like I used to. I do have to wear tights. But I also am mindful of the length. Like, I don't wear the ones that were as short as the ones I used to wear were very short. My mum, my mum, I used to come back here from Adelaide for like summer holidays and stuff when I was at uni. I mean, I came back from Adelaide when I wasn't at uni too, but I come back over summer and I'd put something on to go out of like a mini skirt, and my mum would go, "That's a nice belt. You gonna wear anything else with it?" But I still feel my legs are okay for, like, I wear a lot of short dresses and stuff, but I always have to wear leggings or tights, and then in summer my dresses are a little bit longer because then I can get away with bare legs. But I feel like in my mid-50s, people don't need to be able to see what I had for breakfast, you know. They didn't need to when I was younger either. But when I was younger, I pulled it off. While there's plenty of things about my body I would change in a heartbeat, I was blessed with good legs. So I've enjoyed the mini skirts and short A-line dresses and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I have got a little bit more conservative in terms of the ones that my mum said look like belts. If I wore them now, they would probably be a belt. I mean, I don't want to look like a tarty old lady, you know. I don't want to look like an old slapper. I can't read chat at the moment. That was the last comments. I know we're talking about mini skirts. Hi to anyone rolling in. I can see we've hit the double figures, which is awesome. Cool. It might be a little bit crawly. I mean, it's just the downside now of the roadworks, Groovers, is it's not crawly much anymore. So the chances to read chat. Oh, Joey Wilson's rolled on in. G'day. I think I saw Mandy Hall. G'day. Just focusing on the. Oh, there's a rainbow, guys. Can you guys see the rainbow? New York City is turning it on this morning, everyone. That's your job to be the answer. All right, Dales, you can take the title. I mean, look, I'm in my heart and mind and spirit, I might still be an old slapper, but I just think that when you're in your 50s, the length of your mini skirt should be dropped. Not a lot. They're still well above my knees, but they're just long enough that if I, have to bend over, you don't get to see what I had for breakfast. What I'm saying. I actually bought a little chocolate brown corduroy mini skirt the other day, and it's very 60s style. And I was going to wear it today, and I completely forgot. It's cute as fuck, but again, like, it's winter too. It's only 5 degrees, so some black leggings, tights, my tan boots, my little chocolate mini skirt, and a yummy little jumper or top. I completely forgot I was going to wear that today. And I've got a red corduroy skirt too, mini skirt. All right, I'm going to be a bit careful because I have a tailgating fuckface behind me, and B, I have a brake slamming fuckface in front of me. Oh, it is Mandy Hall. G'day, Groover. So we're not going to see much of New York City as usual. Piss week adventures. I'm bringing you all into New York City, and it is completely obscured by cloud. It's fucking Brigadoon again. Oh damn! I forgot to grab my fingerless gloves. I reckon I'm going to need them today because Deb was in earlier saying there's a lot of snow, and the squall machine is now over the mountains, so there'll be more snow being made. It's going to be fucking cold, which at least I brought some warm clothes. My office yesterday, oh my God, is like an ice box. Our building is really cold, and the Hobart Rivulet goes under the building. Like the rivulet is down below in underground um, tunnels. If you want to stop tailgating me, girl, you don't need to keep slamming your fucking brakes on. Jesus. Jesus. Jesus wept. All right, so leaving a little bit later, the traffic is a little bit thicker. I think I'll go earlier in future because then I don't get all these tailgating, brake slamming fuck knuckles near me. I'm just going to go so friggin' slow now because she's so fucking annoying. Hey, Lindy Lou. I know my new windscreen wipers are lovely, but they make the worst bloody squidgy noise. Can't believe it though. The frames are Bosch. It's like, God, that's a bit posh. Or when new windscreen wiper frames are Bosch on a, what, 2009 Suzuki Swift? It's all a bit fancy. I'm getting the bit on it. Watch this chick go flying past me and then slam on her brakes. Should I give her the bird? No. Bye. Bye, tailgating fuckface. I don't. I, I hate tailgaters. I'm not. Why beat around the bush? They suck. And why would you even think it's worth doing in this kind of traffic? You reckon you're going to make the traffic just part and let you through? Mm, unlikely. Mind you, I'm now stuck in the Drooby lane. But that's all right, because when we come off the bridge, there's a lane. The lane to my right turns into a lane going into the city in the morning, and then in the afternoon it's an outward lane, and it always feels so weird to me to drive along it. I don't like it at all. Like it's brilliant for moving the traffic, but it makes me feel wrong. It's like when you first drive on the wrong side of the road or the other side of the road when you're in a country where they drive on the other side of the road, or even just trying to cross a road and you sort of look for moving traffic the wrong way. Done that a couple of times. I hope you're all well, Groovers. But as we head into New York City, shortly up on the hill, you're going to see the Smithsonian. The Eiffel Tower will come into view fairly soon, as will the Leaning Tower of Pisa and the Hobart Aquatic Centre. That's interesting. I came, yeah. So, I think I prefer the drive-in when I leave earlier, even though it means I get to town earlier. I can always go and grab a coffee. Why is this tradie driving really slowly? Like, you are the most non-tradie vehicle, and someone's written poo on the back of his little truck too. Maybe someone else got stuck behind. He's driving really slowly. How weird. Yeah, we are heading into summer, and even last night I got home from work. Oh, look, you're really annoying. The driving is poo. Went from tailgating fuckface to slow moving yob yob. Oh, I think I'm about to be behind tailgating fuckface. She didn't get very far. Oh no, it's not. It's missing the sticker. No, these people in front are innocent. Don't be doxing them and finding out who they are. It's not tailgating fuckface. But yeah, we are heading into summer. So it was light when I got home. The days have been getting longer for a while. Like, it's light when you leave work. It's light when you get home. Of course, we will have daylight saving. That'll come along and things will be a bit dark again for a brief moment. But today it's only 5 degrees and there's snow on the mountain, so we still have some winter left in us. But 6 weeks ago, all the blossoms were coming out. Like, that's the Federation Concert Hall on the right. That's where my dad's state funeral was. I mentioned it earlier. Look at New York City on this glorious Tuesday morning. The joint is jumping. New York is my favourite city that I've travelled to, but there is a disclaimer of sorts. Um, I was in New York City in the 80s and I fucking loved it. 86. Holy shit, it's Hobart. It's cold in Hobart. I mean, it's 5 degrees, but I did bring a scarf and a big, fluffy, puffy, gummy jacket today because yesterday I froze my tartars up. All right, I can read chat a little bit. You're heading into autumn or fall. Oh, look, it is a magical mystery tour, Love of the Rogue. It is. Because we also, I forgot to point out, we did just go over the Sydney Harbour Bridge. This place has got a bit of everything. Your trees are changing too. But are you guys still sweltering as well? Well, Scout, well, no, lucky Scout with a pool, but Scout was messaging me going, I'm melting. I mean, she didn't actually say that, but that's me paraphrasing it. Oh, you're getting a cold winter, are you? We have, look, to be honest, I mean, 5 degrees is pretty brisk, but we actually have pretty mild winters. Like, even though we get snow up on the mountain, it's rare that we get it at sea level. And down where I live, it has snowed there once in the 8 years I've been there. It snowed at my house. It was pretty awesome. I've got a video of Biscuit at the door onto the deck saying if she wants to go out in the snow. Nope, she didn't. She loved rain, not snow. She was a smart girl. Sunny, on the other hand, I don't know what she would do if she saw snow. She's She's a sassy little thing, but she's not as sassy as Biscuit was. My beautiful little Sunny can be quite a bimbo at times. But I don't think you can be that beautiful and not be a little bit of a bimbo. Like, if she was a human being, she would get very far in life purely because of her looks. Oh, my park's gone. It's all right, though. There's another one over here, but... Oh, no, it's not breaking glass. Oh, there's a can. You're in Virginia. You had a really short summer? Yeah, see, I mean, Tassie is the coldest state in Australia, but there are cities like Canberra that get even colder than here. But we're really outdoorsy all year round. Like, winter, you just chuck on a warm coat, you know, and summer, it's not so hot that you can't go out. Actually, and we get four, well, not distinct seasons. You can get 4 seasons in one day, but we generally get 4 distinct seasons, which I love. Some other parts of Australia literally get summer all year round, or they get a sweltering hot summer and a freezing cold winter, like Adelaide. I mean, they do. The Adelaide Hills gets very pretty with blossom and autumn leaves, but the seasons just, they're extreme, I guess. Their summer and winter can get... That winter gets cold enough to snow and it doesn't, and that annoyed me. Melbourne gets fucking cold. But like my mum used to say, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. Bad clothing choices, you know. I'm just putting on some foundation right now as we speak. Putting on my face. So I'll be able to chat in a minute, but I'm not wearing my glasses. What's everyone up to today? Anyone got any exciting things planned? Anyone doing anything groovy? Oh, there's more new people in the chat. I can't read it at the moment. I'll be able to when I've whacked on my powder. So make sure you post a comment again in case I've missed saying g'day to anyone. I think, is it Aussie Trisha? Is it what? Truth never changes. I like that. That's profound. How are you, Groover? Sorry if it's not Aussie Trisha, but yeah, until I've got my glasses back on. Which I can do once I've powdered my face. Because there's nothing worse than moisturiser on your spectacles. It is Aussie Trisha. Hello. It was snowing in South Africa last week. Random. Yeah, we're all getting different weather to what we're used to, but, you know, there's no such thing as climate change. Jesus Christ. I mean, the climate is basically going, hello, I'm changing. Look at me change. Look at all the crazy storms and floods and things I do now. Look at polar ice caps melting. Look at people around the world all commenting on how they're experiencing extreme heat, extreme cold, things they never used to experience. I'm showing you, I'm changing. And then dumb human beings are like, nah, no such thing. No such thing. And we're all living in it going, it's fucking changed. Nah. Nah, it's a myth. It's a myth that tells you. I mean, sometimes just basically experiencing something different is enough to know there's a change happening. And why deny it? Like, although it's human beings' fault entirely, it's not like any one individual's been held responsible for fucking up the planet. I mean, there's science. You know, once there's science, I'm like, okay, I agree with that. I don't argue with science. A, I don't have a scientific mind, so I wouldn't know where to start. But B, science is there and it's it and it's done. Like, kind of hard to argue with science. Easy to argue with theories, speculations, opinions. Science, it's just there and it is what it is. It's fucking science. I won't forget mascara today, but I will put my glasses back on for a second. Yeah, places facing. I mean, Tasmania's been in drought for a long time, and the mainlanders are like, oh, it's too wet and cold down there for us, and they don't realise it's fucking dry here, and we're in drought. But when Queensland and New South Wales were being absolutely ravaged, and continue to be ravaged in excessive rains, this El Nino weather pattern's a nightmare. And they're getting flooded repeatedly. Down here, we go into drought. Aussie Trisha, hello. You're on the wrong phone. Well, I'm glad you're on the right phone. All right, I'm going to chuck on a bit of mascara. We've still got time for a wee chat. But yeah, I started the live. Welcome to New York. I'm glad you all joined me to see this attractive wall. I have a feeling just from all the notifications after Kylie Rodney was found yesterday that it's going to be another one of those cases that, well, not case, it's not even a case, stories that YouTubers are now going to be theorizing about for decades, because you could already see people questioning, as far as I know, and like I said, I haven't followed it that closely, but to me it looks like 16-year-old goes to a party, gets drunk, drives, and ends up driving into a lake/reservoir/dam, call it what you want, and tragically her life is over. But there were so many notifications, and they were going, oh no, there's still foul play, because the friends were really suspicious. And I'm thinking, they're teenage kids. Like, it's not that they're suspicious. They probably don't want everyone to know that they were all drinking underage and being little shitheads and misbehaving. They're not used to being interviewed and, interrogated. I mean, if it turns out there is foul play, well, so be it. But it just seemed to be like, it's such a relief for her family. It's a tragic relief, but it's a relief for them to know what happened, well, where she's ended up and what's happened. She's not going to be missing for their, lifetimes, and they're never going to really know what happened to her. But, she's barely been announced. It's barely been announced that she's been found, and then all these YouTubers that aren't professional fucking anything are all, putting out their theories. It's like, you guys are so fickle and transparent. Like, you can, they start out, oh, we're creating awareness. Well, they're basically ripping every person that's been interviewed to shreds, coming out with all these series. No, that's not creating awareness. The people that went live and said, this is Kylie Rodney, she's this tall, she weighs this much, here are some photos of her, this is what she was wearing on the night she went missing. They're creating awareness. But I'm still waiting for the one who said she didn't even have her car there. I'm still waiting for her to apologise for her incorrect bleatings, but she won't. And then as soon as they find her, rather than just, pause and reflect and think what a tragic waste of a young life. And unfortunately, there are parents and families the world over who've lost their kids in car accidents. And even just acknowledging, that Adventures with Purpose had found her, they're already putting out their new theories. It's like, can anyone name a YouTuber in the true crime community that we all found ourselves in 4 fucking years ago, who is now like a chief inspector, investigator, detective, working as a professional for an organisation that's headhunted them because of their amazing crime work on YouTube? Can anyone name one? Yeah. Well, I agree, Mandy, although I'm a bit, Ryan Upchurch, and I'd never even heard of him, and the people are like, what are you talking about? He's a famous singer. And I'm like, really? Okay. Good on him. But I don't believe it's an accident. And I'm not saying that it don't go down. This isn't a conspiracy theory, but I don't know if it's just sort of working in law, but unfortunately, when you combine a car and alcohol and an inexperienced driver, it's not an accident. It's a foreseeable nightmare, but it's not an accident. Great. I didn't actually see Gray's coverage of it. And look, I'm the first to admit I didn't follow it that closely, but I was aware of it because every frigging notification on my YouTube for 2 weeks was her. But yeah, I don't use the word accident when it was kind of a foreseeable disaster or foreseeable outcome. But that's purely me and semantics, Yeah, they're screaming foul play. And it's like, how? Like, ooh. What, because some teenage kids who are inexperienced are being interviewed didn't act the right way? Again, here we go. It's just like Azaria or Lindy Chamberlain all over again. God forbid you don't act the right way, whatever the fuck the right way is. See you, little rogue. So good to see you, gorgeous. The guy from Profiling Evil's been on crime. There you go. There's one. But I'm thinking that person is probably a little bit more, probably has a background or an experience in something to have some credibility. I'm talking more the people who just followed a case and then became true crime channels and just talk true crime all the time and postulate theories and act like they know more than the cops do. Those people. Profiling Evil sounds like they might have a bit of experience in some area. I'm talking like Tiffany Marie or Life Perplexed or The Glare, those sorts of people. Well, there you go. See, ex-police. I'm talking about the little 2 bits. Mike from I'll have to check out Profiling Evil. I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed, but yeah, I'm more the sort of the pseudo investigators, self-appointed. No, I don't watch them either, but they're the examples of the people I'm talking about. They're sort of the people that do true crime, but not like Mike from that chapter who just tells stories about crimes, or Stephanie Harlow. The people who take an investigative, theoretical approach, and think that they're going to break the case. Those people. Molly Golightly, them. None of whom I used to watch all of those people, but check out podcast Criminal Makeup. She does good in-depth stories. I will check her out. Thank you. Yep, well, Mike gets the tick from all of you groovers, so he must be a groover. He's very professional. I love Mike from that chapter too. He's gorgeous. And he just tells the story. Neither do I, Mandy, but I'm just, again, anyone I name, like, I don't watch this, I'm trying to give examples of the people who think that they are true crime channels, who don't just tell a story, but actually crap on for hours about what they think happened. And then when the truth comes out, they all just go silent and start covering something else. He is very funny, Mike. Unfortunately, it's not 8:23. They were all the people that we first found when we all came to, the people that came to YouTube because of the Chris Watts nightmare. Back in the day, they were channels that we all found and bounced around in. But yeah, have any of them been employed as professional investigators? No. You live in the true crime community. Yeah, but the good ones. There's quite a few channels I listen to that I love. I can't think of any of their names right now, but when I do a live, it's only because my brain's switching into work mode, but when I do a live from home, I've found it some absolute gems. I can't remember the name, but we were talking about the other day, the ones that do all of the disasters, like stadium collapses and shit like that. Chasing Truth is your favourite? I found I don't have the time for her, unfortunately. Like, she just, well, I shouldn't say that because she might be doing shorter lives, but she used to be live for a very long time. Like, I love her point of view on stuff and the way she looks at things. I love her anti-victim blaming approach, and even like with Save Summer Worlds, the fact that she was saying, who cares if their lifestyle is not what you approve of? It doesn't mean they killed their daughter. Like, she's got a really refreshing outlook and lovely personality, but I just found sometimes her lives were too long for me to get the substance I needed. Not that she was lacking it, it's just that she's got a very busy, active chat and she engages a lot. Profiling evil, cool. I used to go out to crime scenes all the time when I was a criminal lawyer. It was fun. Sounds weird saying that, but it was, because you kind of got to play detective a little bit because you were sort of there almost when it had happened. Strange Stories, that might be one that I think Chasing Truth and Grey did a So Mean Allegedly channel or something. But she's a good egg. Like, if she's live and there's nothing else happening, I'll put her on while I'm pottering. I mean, I don't sit and watch and participate in chat anymore. I realised a long time ago that YouTube was just better for me to listen to rather than participate in. But Tracy's definitely got some really refreshing outlooks on things. No, there's no new news. So, and that's where she's reasonable, and that's what I feel like this Kylie Rodney is about to become the new Summer Worlds or Chris Watts. There's going to be channels just going live and talking about it for years to come with all their theories. But if you sort of pare it back and look at it in a realistic way, to me, it's just a very unfortunate story of another young person drink driving with a really unfortunately tragic outcome, but sadly predictable. And yeah, it's horrible, but I'm relieved that the family at least can say goodbye and they're not going to spend the rest of their lives wondering where she is and what happened to her. But I can just see a shitload of YouTubers are now going to be putting their theories about it all and, you know, the foul play and all these dodgy friends and everything else. But I tend to pair things right back and go, look at the absolute basic facts and look at the logical conclusion and move on. Or, you know, Chris Watts pled guilty, case closed, see you later. But I feel that she's going to be, unfortunately, fodder for YouTubers. So mean with Grey is great. I mean, I'm normally more active, like in terms of listening to YouTube and stuff in winter, but this year I've just had so much on and I'm not complaining. I've had a great time, but there have been previous winters, I think more sort of because of COVID and we all got a bit more housebound. Everyone had more time to be on the YouTubes, but I haven't this year. It's been quite difficult. I don't know why. That one really disturbs me. You too, Lindy Lou. I hope everyone has a great day / night, whatever you get up to. I'm glad that you all joined me on this amazing flight to New York City. No, exactly. Scout, you've summed it up. The basic facts don't bring them the money that they want. But I'm going to start being that refreshing. Yeah, I like her humour too. She does crack me up a lot. I'm going to be that YouTuber that just goes, here we go, this is what happened, case closed, next. Don't bother me. Don't have time for theories. There's other people out there that need our attention and need awareness about their situation, and I'm far more interested in talking about them. But I feel for Kylie's family because they're now probably going to have to endure years of every motherfucker on YouTube who's in it for the coin speculating about their daughter. And God forbid they go on there and ask people to stop doing it, because then they're going to get with the whole you shouldn't even be on YouTube bullshit. They're more entitled to be on YouTube than the people that are talking about their daughter. You bet your left tit. If someone in my family was a victim of a crime, touch wood, that never happens. I couldn't think of anything worse. And people are crapping on about them on YouTube, you fucking bet your left tit I'm going to be on there defending my child or family member or whoever it is. I don't have children, but yeah, the clicks and views crowd, they piss me off too, and they roll in. They keep rolling in the droves, and they keep throwing money around like a bunch of absolute nutbags. That's one of the things that, it's not just the fact that there are all these fucking narcissistic creators out there milking these tragic stories for every cent they can get. It's also the fact that so many people rock up and fall into it and do exactly what they want. That's what bothers me, this sort of pack mentality of people just rolling in, throwing their money at these losers, and 4 years in, they're still fucking doing it. Good girl, Scout. It's very therapeutic. I do like listening to Chasing Truth when I clean the house, although I used to put the glare on when I was cleaning the bathroom because he'd make me clean it really quickly. But on that note, I've got to go. I've got to go and give legal advice to people with legal problems. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to listen to their story and give them advice and send them on their merry way. I'm not going to give them conspiracy theories and postulations and, you know, elaborate their story and come up with all kinds of highfalutin ideas about what the fuck's going on. I'm just going to let them tell their story, and then based on the facts, I'm going to give them advice and bid them farewell. Oh, you put the podcast on. Oh, see, I really want to get doing that. There's so much I want to do on YouTube. I don't know. I think most people who work in YouTube will know the struggle. We just don't have the time to do everything we want. But hanging out with you has been fab. You take care, Dodo. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, Y, and everyone out there. And I'll see you all again very soon. Love you guys. I genuinely do. Until next time, stay groovy, everyone.